I was at Capitol one day and Dan McCarroll said, we got this song, Stay With Me, with this guy named Sam Smith, and no one has been able to capture what we want. He played it for me, and I said, give me that song. Stay with me. It was just piano and vocals. And he said, what are you going to do with us? I'm going to take it to church. Fire up that B3, I'm going to hop on that organ. That was the first thing I did. With a song that good, you have to be very careful. With that song, I'm going to tell you, the art to producing is to be very careful. When something's good, you got to make sure you complement what's good and what's great, because you could easily overproduce and take away from it. I was working on it and working on it and building, and then I'm like, nah, we got to strip it back and start. We're losing the song now. And then I sent it, and then Dan said, you nailed it, you nailed it. I said, see you at the Grammys. That was my response. And then literally like 6-8 months, I saw him later at the Grammys. I was
Yo, that's a fire story. I love that. Dark Child is literally top 10, not even top 10. He's in my top like 5 of producers. Almost want to put him in the top 3, but my guy is so right with that. That song um, is like iconic. You know what I mean? And it's only 3 chords, and the simplicity of it, not just in the arrangement, but also in the flow of it and the feeling that it gives. And he knows, Dark Child has been in the game long enough to know how to serve the song, how to um how to really arrange and serve it, and know, not have his ego so into the point where he's trying to like overproduce it and show his chops, but it's like knowing what the song needs, listening to the, the soulfulness of the vibe of it, and going, this is church, even though it's not a church song, but knowing that this is the thing that's going to serve this particular arrangement. You know what I mean? And how he was able to even pull back, because a lot of times we commit too early to stuff in music. We get into the vibe of it, and we start stacking sounds and pads and leads and drums and all of this, and the arrangement just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And then we live in the time and period where like we have unlimited tracks, so we can do whatever we want to do, how at whatever limit of our PC or our computer gives us, we can just jump in and do it. You know what I'm saying? But the truth of the matter is, like, sometimes if you go back and listen to the top songs of all time, it's very simple instrumentation. It's very simple, like vibe and flow. You know what I mean? It's not like 87 tracks, it's 10. You know what I mean? And I think as producers, we got to get back to that. You know what I'm saying? We got to get back to simplicity in our songs. I know a lot of people like knock like the CCM kind of movement in gospel, like we knock that. You know what I mean? There's a lot of complaints about it, but the reason why that music, I believe, has become more mainstream now is because of the simplicity of it. Yeah, lyrically, there's a lot going on, but musically, there's not a lot there. The typical CCM song is like acoustic guitar, electric guitar, piano, a pad, you know what I mean? Drums, bass, the essentials, the foundation. And then there's a little bit of this and that in there, right? The chord structures are simpler, you know what I mean? And why that's, powerful is because anybody can play it. They don't have to have a pedigree, you know what I mean, and gospel chops in order to play these songs. And so it serves the church well. And then because the instrumentation and the arrangement is stripped back, you know what I mean, there is there's more room for the vocals to breathe and the message of the song itself to shine forward. You know what I'm saying? And so I think as producers, we got to figure that out. We have to, that's, if you're not really getting the, I mean, because we as gospel producers, we're real like on the whole tip of like over arranging everything because we have so much musicality. You know, you got a Yellow Jackets, you know, introduction, you know what I mean, with the snarky puppy vamp, you know what I mean, like with all this other stuff, crazy stuff going on in hits and lines and licks and the ooh ah factor, you know what I'm saying? And it's like too much and it doesn't serve the song because there's so much musically going on because we are producing for other producers. We're producing for other musicians. We're trying to get the ooh ah factor from our peers. And the message of the song and the arrangement of the song is getting lost in all of it. You know what I mean? I've gotten songs in the mix and I end up having to call the producer and be like, hey bro, can I delete like 5 of these 15 guitars that you sent in? Can I consolidate these pads? Because you're not going to be able to hear all of that stuff. You got 2 channels. Yeah, we got Dolby Atmos mixing, but nobody's listening to that stuff. Nobody's listening to that stuff. Keep it a buck. We got 2 channels, and we got to feed all of this stuff through those. You know, even if you got Dolby Atmos and all this stuff, people only got 2 ears. You know what I mean? To hear with. You know what I'm saying? And so you got to feed to those things. And so that's kind of my perspective. I wholeheartedly agree with Dark Child Cinnamon. He's one of my top producers, top 5 easily, of people who understand what it is. And we should aspire to be more like that as we produce, as we arrange, as we grow in this. And sit back and ask yourself, as he did, like, does what I'm playing serve the song? You know, am I doing too much? Do we need to pull this back? You know, do we need to subtract instead of multiplying and adding? You know, it's kind of my take. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. Yo, what up, guys? It's your boy, John Mike. If you've been rocking with my content and you want to go beyond what YouTube allows, what social media allows, that's exactly why I created my Patreon. Over there, I break down the real side of music tech, business, how this industry actually works, the creative side. I'm talking exclusive podcasts with your favorite creators. And there's 3 ways that you can join. There's a support tier that starts at just $5 a month. That's for people who just want to support my work and get early access to the content that I create. The Creator Plus tier goes deeper into the tools, the workflows, the plugins, everything that I use to create and scale out my content. And then there's the Business Plus tier. This is where we talk strategy, monetization, ownership, all of the things that I do to make money, how I scaled a 7-figure company, how you can do it too, asking questions, all of the crazy things that you want to know about how to build a sustainable, real career in music. So if you're really ready to take this to the next level and grow your creative business this year, then please join me over there at Patreon. The link is down below. I'll talk to you guys over there. Let's get it.